Hi, welcome to our solution video. Matt, do you want to go over the puzzle again?
Yeah, this is a solution to the puzzle that we call the three coloured balls puzzle. If you want to remind yourself of what the puzzle is, you could watch the little video again, or if you don't, I'll explain it. So, the puzzle was, we had a box with 12 balls in, four of them were blue, 4 of them were light pink, and 4 of them were dark pink. It's a bit annoying having just 2 different kinds of pink, but that was the balls that we had.
Yeah, you work with what you got.
Yeah, and to work with what we had. Our budget isn't very high in these videos. So the puzzle was, if you take 3 balls out at random from the box, what's the probability that they're going to be all blue?
Well,
Okay.
so to work that out, obviously there's 4 blue balls and there's 12 in total, so it's 4 out of 12. And then when you take the second one, there's going to be 1 less blue, so that's got to be 3, and 1 less in total, so that's 11. And for the third one, the same again, so 1 less blue, 1 less in total.
So it doesn't really matter what the answer to this is, because the puzzle said, if we add a load more balls, but in such a way that we add the same amount of blue and the same amount of light pink and the same amount of dark pink, and then do the thing again and say, what's the probability of us taking out 3 balls at random and they're all being blue? What the question was, is the answer going to be the same as this, or less than this, or more than this? And we thought it's not an obvious question, not an obvious answer to that question. And there's lots of ways that we could do it. So we started by saying, let's add X of each different colour.
And we know that we're adding the same amount of balls to each one, so X to each one, so you can call that 3 lots of X.
Yeah, it's what's being added.
Yeah, and X to each. Yeah.
So, yeah. Now there's probably lots of ways you can try and solve this puzzle, but the way that occurred to me was this following way that I'll show you. So when we've added X of each colour, what's the probability going to be that when we take out 3 balls, they're all blue? Well, it's going to be 4 plus X, because that's the number of blue balls now, over 12 plus 3X, and that multiplied by 1 less than that, which is 3 plus X, over 1 less than this, which is 11 plus 3X, multiplied by 1 less than that, which is 2 plus X, over 1 less than this, which is 10 plus 3X. Now, what I thought might be a neat way to do this is, if we could see that, let's say if this fraction was bigger than this one, and this one was bigger than this one, and this one was bigger than this one, then when we times 3 bigger fractions together, we're going to get an answer that's bigger than this.
Yeah.
If it was the case that these were less than their original versions, it would be less. If they were the same, then it's the same. So basically the method was to compare these with these. Now, if you look at the structure of these fractions here, these numbers here match these numbers here, and they've all got X and they've all got 3X here. So we can kind of generalize this right from the start and say what we're interested in is, how does the fraction A plus X over B plus 3X, how does that compare with the fraction A over B? Does that make sense? So we're saying, like, how does 4 plus X over 12 plus 3X compare with 4 over 12? And the same again. And if we can find out some kind of general rule here, we can apply it to all 3 without having to do 3 lots of work. Now, we did a video a while ago, a short video about a nice easy way to compare the sizes of fractions.
So you can assume one's bigger than the other.
Yeah, and what it is just assume that one is bigger than the other. So let's assume that that is the case, that that is less than that. If that is true,
You can cross multiply.
we can cross multiply. Do you want to do it?
Yeah, go for it. So we've got b times a plus x is less than a times b plus 3x. And then, so if you expand the brackets out, you've then got ab plus bx is less than ab plus 3ax.
Okay, now what we can see here is AB is on both sides, so we can subtract that both sides. So we can see that this fraction is less than this fraction whenever bx is less than 3ax. Now, we know that x is a positive number, so we can divide both sides by x.
Yeah. So now we've got b is less than 3a.
So now we know that this fraction is less than this one only when b is less than 3a.
So if we go back to the actual
Yeah,
problem.
and think about it, well, if this was an equation and we had an equal sign here, that wouldn't change any of this working out, apart from the sign would be different. So these would be equal when b was equal to 3a. Now in this case, b, 12, is equal to 3a, which is 4. So what that tells us is this fraction and this fraction, no matter what the value of x is,
They're always the same.
are actually equal, right? So all we care about now is this one and this one, how they compare with this one and this one. Well, b is less than 3a for that to be less than that.
So we know that a is 3, so if you do
Yeah.
3 times 3, which is 9, is 9 greater than 11? Well,
Yeah, no, so 9 is less than 11. In fact, b is greater than 3a. So this isn't true. So in fact, this, I hope this is clear.
Yeah.
So
so it should be that way around, right?
yeah, I mean, it might have been better if we'd written it this way around the whole time, because this is basically the truth most of the time. So we say if b is greater than 3a, then this fraction is bigger than this one. 11 is bigger than 3 times 3, so this fraction is bigger than this one. 10 is bigger than 3 times 2, so this fraction is bigger than this fraction. So those are the same, that's bigger than that, that's bigger than that. So basically what this is saying then is this product is bigger than this one, so
The probability is higher.
the probability of getting 3 blue balls out once you've added the extra ones in is higher. Hopefully that makes sense. If you want to watch any other puzzles of ours, I'll put a link on the screen if we move apart. But yeah, thanks for watching.
Yeah, like this video, subscribe to our channel.